So you're telling me that we have various contradicting reports going on in WWE right now as far as what the outcome of WrestleMania's main event will be, if not the outcome of the entire matches on the card, or within the card, or on the card, easy for me to say, kind of got tongue-tied there. But you're telling me Triple H and his crew doesn't have an idea, as to who's going over in each of the matches on both nights? I have to agree with JD here and say that that's BS, but I don't think it's because Vince McMahon is running things. No. I think it's because of the fact that the reason we're hearing these various reports, as contradicting as they are, from Give Me Sport, WrestleVotes, Fightful, PW Insider, you name it, is because Triple H knows that we're going to basically have people like Fightful and all the sources I just mentioned come out and talk about these kind of things. So what is Triple H and his crew doing? They, in my opinion, are throwing out false information. They're telling Give Me Sport one thing, they're telling WrestleVotes one thing, they're telling Fightful another. They're throwing out a different variety of news items to throw us off. That's what they're doing. Why would anybody have contradicting reports, 7 days plus out of WrestleMania? How can you have contradicting reports? You don't. You don't have contradicting reports. As a matter of fact, what you have are reports that are identical in nature, identical in the news that they, are hearing from within the company. You do not have contradicting anywhere on that report. You don't. And yet, we're getting that. And again, I think it's mainly because Triple H knows what he's doing. And it's not Vince McMahon. Because if it was Vince McMahon, we'd already pretty much know what the outcome's going to be. We'd already know that. We'd already know that Roman Reigns or Cody Rhodes is going to walk out champion. We'd already know that. We'd already know that Edge or Finn Balor is going to win Hell in a Cell. We'd already know that. The thing is that we don't know, I should say. The thing being that we don't know right now, and it's all these contradicting reports coming out saying one thing over the other. I think it's all part of Triple H's plan. I really do. And I'm not saying that to shield or be shield as a fanboy of Triple H or anything like that. No. I'm saying that because think about it. There have been some things that have happened, in WWE, since Triple H has taken over creatively, that we didn't see coming. Think about it this way. Johnny Gargano. Nobody knew where Johnny Gargano was going to go, right? All of a sudden, you're tuning into Raw when it emanated from Toronto, Canada, I think, a couple months ago, or several months ago, and all of a sudden, in the middle, at the top of the hour of one of the hours of Monday Night Raw, I think it was the third or second hour, all of a sudden, at the top of the hour, all you hear Rebel Heart just blasting out of nowhere. And you're like, what is this? What is going on? Why are we hearing Rebel Heart, right? And all of a sudden, out comes Johnny Gargano. And reports come out that Johnny has re-signed with the company. But nobody saw it coming. Nobody saw it coming. Because of the fact that it wasn't reported. It wasn't reported. I think basically it was rumored something was going on with Johnny, but we weren't sure. And all of a sudden this occurs. So you're telling me that someone that hid someone like Johnny Gargano's return a secret, basically surprised us so far with other moments and everything, like Dakota Kai, Bayley, and Io Shirai becoming Damage Control at SummerSlam last year. You're telling me that this guy who has lived and breathed this business for over 30 years, almost 40 years, 3 to 4 decades, you're telling me he doesn't know what he's doing? You're telling me that he doesn't have a plan? Oh, he has a plan. He already knows what's going to happen. He already has it all set up, booking-wise, from start to finish. The reason though, all these places like Fightful, WrestleVotes, PW Insider, Dave Meltzer, Brian Alvarez, you name it. The reason all of them are getting conflicting reports, contradicting reports that differ from each other is to throw them off. To throw them off and, just like us fans, get them guessing as to what's going to happen next. That's why. And I can tell you honestly, if I'm Sean Ross Sapp, that should be the first thing that comes to mind when I'm seeing all these contradicting reports, that are similar to mine, but are being told differently. That should be the first thing in my mind if I'm Sean Ross Sapp. That should be the first thing in my mind if I'm PWI Insider's Mike Johnson. That should be the first thing in my mind if I'm any of the reporters for WrestleVotes that has sources within the company. That should be the first thing in my mind, like, wait a minute. We're reporting the same thing, but, others are reporting it too. Basically like, we're reporting the same thing, just like Fightful and the others, but it sounds different from what we're reporting. Something's not right. I mean, it's obvious to me that they're doing it to throw you off. It's WrestleMania. You think Triple H is going to want his first WrestleMania to be spoiled by, information getting out of, they got the result planned for Cody and Roman, and it sounds like Roman's going to go, and from the sound of it, according to our source, Roman's going over. Or, according to our source, Cody's going over. You think honestly they want to give that away, before the show. No, they don't. So it's my opinion. I'm just, speculating here. But the way it sounds like when I'm hearing this conflicting of reports that are similar but sounding different, from undeciding of all the matches, outcome at WrestleMania, undeciding of the main event between Rhodes and Reigns, and alongside it, we're hearing Reigns might take time off after Mania. It's like, come on, guys, wake up. Wake up and realize WWE and mostly Triple H know that there are a lot of sites out there like Fightful, PW Insider, WrestleVotes, and all of them that are going to get information leaked out to them by the sources within the company. So what they're doing is they're basically putting out reports that are throwing you off. You can't tell me that Triple H isn't getting in contact with some of the possible sources or telling people close to those possible sources, hey, have them say this because I don't want it getting out that this is going on. You can't tell me Triple H isn't responsible for all this conflicting, all this contradicting. You can't tell me he's not, just to throw you off, because he is. Because if there's one thing a lot of people have always said about him, is he's old school minded. And part of the old school mindedness, when it comes to professional wrestling or any sport, is to keep things closely, keep certain things, match outcomes and all that, a closely guarded secret, especially when it comes to your biggest show of the year, your Super Bowl of not just your company, but of all professional wrestling. That to me is why Triple H, in my opinion, from what I can tell, looking at all this, my speculated opinion is throwing out all this false information to keep you guessing. I mean, think about that for a moment, guys. Think about that for one single solitary moment. I mean, usually Fightful, usually WrestleVotes, Give Me Sport, PW Insider. Usually some of these are the more reliable sources out there, and they usually are able to, get information that, they feel we fans should know, either whether or not they hide it behind a paywall or not, that they believe we fans should know. They will usually give it to us. They will usually find a way to get in contact with a source close to the situation to give it to us. But if they're all conflicting, on different various reports, if you will, if they're all conflicting, on different various reports related to the same situation, if not similar, then to me, that's all WWE's doing. That's all Triple H is doing. He knows what's going on. He understands what's happening. He probably has people telling him, hey, so-and-so leaked out this information to Fightful. So-and-so leaked out this information to WrestleVotes, da-da-da. You cannot tell me that basically he's not being made aware of that, and he's going out and saying, hey, have them report this or have them report that. Say, have this get put out there, when in fact, what he's having be put out there is not true because he's already got everything settled in and ready to go. I mean, I guarantee you the sources that, Fightful and, PW Insider and WrestleVotes, have within the company, they're probably being thrown off themselves. They're probably being told, oh, this is what's going on, this is what's going on, and da-da-da, but they're not being aware that the information they're getting is not true. So, again, I would not put it past Triple H. I would not put it past Triple H to be the one that's behind this contradicting, behind this conflict. I would not put it past him to be the one that basically says, yeah, this is, it basically makes it look like they're going one way, but he's already got it set up to go another. So I'm basically saying right now, do not think Triple H isn't responsible for the conflicting stories or contradictions going on when it comes to these stories, because I guarantee you he is. He is. He's making those sources within the company look foolish right now because of all the false information he's giving to throw everybody off. I guarantee you that's what's going on. But that's just my speculated opinion. Do you agree or not? Let me know down in the comment section below. And until next time, guys, I am out.